Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my reaction to my 2021 reading goals. I already know that I didn't read as much as I wanted to this year, but I made a whole video about my general goals, so I thought I would look back on it and see what I actually succeeded in doing. I don't anticipate that I succeeded in doing a lot of them, given how much of a write-off the last 2 years have been with the pandemic, so we're just gonna jump in and I'll see how I go. Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my reading goals for 2021. I have a couple of goals that might impede on my first challenge for myself, and that is read 100 books. I'm just going to set my reading goal to 100 on Goodreads, and if I meet it, I meet it. In the past, I have met it, I've exceeded it, and I've fallen just short of it, and I definitely fell short of it this year. I'm filming this in November before I go in for jaw surgery, so November and December are kind of a write-off for me. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get towards, so I'm anticipating that my reading will stay about the same, and I've read about 40 books this year. I again thought I'd get to like 50, 60, maybe 80. After the first couple of months of the year, I realized I wouldn't get to 100, so that was an unrealistic goal for me, but it's still annoying to look back and go, I had such lofty goals for myself and I didn't even reach them, but I have to just take it with a grain of salt because I know how much of a struggle this year and last year have been, and I've been quite busy as well. So I've read a lot, actually. 40 books is pretty good, and I need to just take that and accept it and be happy with it. So hopefully next year I can read some books that I actually love more, because I might have struggled with reading and the quantity of books that I had because I wasn't reading enough quality books, because I really struggled at finding 5-star reads this year. So maybe that goes hand in hand. If I read more books that I loved, I probably would have read more in quantity as well, but who knows? Now the next goal is actually genre-based, and I read a lot of fantasy in 2020, but I said I am a sci-fi and fantasy reader, and then I looked back and I realized that I barely read any sci-fi. If I'm saying I read a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, I feel like I need to back up my claim. So my second goal is officially read more science fiction in 2021. I did read more science fiction this year. That is a goal that I actually achieved, and I have a science fiction 2021 wrap up of me reflecting on the science fiction books that I read based on what my reading taste was and how I could find more books that fit within my reading taste so I could find more books that I loved in the sci-fi genre. So go and check that out. Recommend me sci-fi books. I'm always open to hearing new ones because I feel like I've barely scratched the surface and there is so much sci-fi to discover. I do still have a few on my TBR though that I would like to read, but I don't know if I will get to them this year. They are on general TBR lists to see if I get to them this year, but honestly I don't know what my healing is going to be like with my jaw, so we'll just see how I go. 3 of the sci-fi books that I've got on my TBR include Dune, and then I've got Foundation by Isaac Asimov, and I've also got A Memory Called Empire. So I would like to read all of these at some point, but only Dune is on my to be read pile this year to read. So if I get to it, I get to it, but I'm booked in to see the film. So I anticipate that I won't read it before I see the movie, which is like the bookworm cardinal sin, but we're just going to roll with it. It'll be fine. Maybe seeing the movie will help me visualize the book more. So I'm anticipating that I'll enjoy it, and I hope that that sticks because I've had a rocky relationship with older, more classic sci-fi and fantasy. So keep your fingers crossed because I really want to like Dune. The third goal is author-based, and I wanted to do a few rereads in 2021 because I finally got my TBR pile way down, and I've basically got nothing left on it that are old books, and all of them are new stuff that I'm really excited about reading now. The 2 authors that I want to spotlight rereads here for are Robin Hobb, who wrote the Elderling series. So the first one in the Farsi trilogy is Assassin's Apprentice. I want to say I want to reread all of her Elderlings books, but I also want to read The Wheel of Time this year. So I don't know how ambitious that is, so I might just say I want to reread the first trilogy and I want to reread The Live Ship Traders. Yeah, I definitely didn't get to all of those rereads because I really wanted to get stuck into Robin Hobb again, like I said, but I didn't. I only reread the first book, Assassin's Apprentice, and thankfully I made a review for it, so not all was lost. But in terms of my reading momentum, again, it really just coasted for most of the year, and I struggled a lot with concentrating on reading. So to get back into Robin Hobb's work, it takes not a lot of concentration, but she tends to write in such detail with such intention that I wanted to give it the time of day. And so because I was distracted, it made it hard for me to do that. And so I naturally want to reread Robin Hobb still, but I just didn't get to all of her stuff. So honestly, I think I'm going to be rereading her stuff next year as well, given that her Realm of the Elderlings series is like 3 or 4 trilogies or quartets long. I don't anticipate that I'm going to get through them super quickly, but I would like to at least finish out Farseer, which is the first collection of books. And my partner's also been rereading The Live Ship Traders, and he's been telling me how much he loves it. So I'd love to reread those as well as soon as possible, because I just adore that world and I adore all those characters, and I need to get back into it. But in terms of my reading goal, I definitely failed that one. But at least I got one tick next to my name across Robin Hobb. I reread the first book at least. At least I started. As for Wheel of Time, I really burned myself out on Wheel of Time. I enjoyed the first book, I finished the second book and did not like it, and I have a spoiler vlog for it because it put me in a 6-month reading slump, and that's probably why I didn't read more of Robin Hobb. So I should just learn how to DNF books more thoroughly. Usually I'm pretty good at it. For some reason, I stuck with The Great Hunt when I shouldn't have. So I reread the first book of Robin Hobb. I read some of The Wheel of Time. I think that was all for this particular reading goal, unless I included Brandon Sanderson, and in which case I only reread Skyward. And I don't think I reread many other things than that. Oh, I did reread Traitor's Blade as well, and that was on a different video. So I only did those rereads this year, and I wanted to go a lot fuller and further, but it just didn't happen for multitudes of reasons. At least I got through the first books and the sequel to Skyward as well. So I did okay. I could have done better, but I did okay, and that's what we're going to walk away from this with. The fourth goal is something I don't talk about very much on my channel, just because as soon as I vocalize it, people start asking about it, and then an expectation is associated with it. But I want to vocalize it just so when I'm looking back at the end of the year, I can go, oh, I meant to actually do that. And then it will carry forward and continue to until I actually start. And that is do some writing. I have done zero writing. I've thought a lot about writing, and I've watched a lot of writing vlogs. I've not actually sat down to do the thing though. So I was right. Past me knew me. Past me knew what future me was doing. Because, or not doing in this case, because I just want to keep writing presently in my head. Obviously I haven't started, and thinking about NaNoWriMo in November, it just psychs me out because that is a lot of words. If you didn't know, NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, and it's where you put together a draft of about 50,000 words, which is the general goal within a month. And that's like just under 2,000 words of writing a day, which is a lot when you have not written really at all. It's like a muscle and a practice that you have to build up over time. At least it is for me. So I could not sit down during November and just smash out words every day because I've not taught myself to do that, and I don't know my own process. So I think next year I do want to write more, but given that I've had such a busy time this year and last year, and at least we're coming out of the pandemic a little bit more, like we've got a lot of people vaccinated in Australia, at least in my state, I think it will be a little bit more doable. I found it very hard to be creative in the past 2 years. It's really been just a slog. So I'm anticipating that I will write at some point, and I wish I didn't talk about it because it's just something that I've held close to my chest as like a general personal goal rather than something that I wanted to broadcast really. So I guess now you know. I think we're up to goal number 5 now, and that for me is going to be keep posting consistently. So I post on a Monday, a Thursday and a Saturday. Usually on a Saturday I post like a reading vlog or a review or a spoiler talk or vlog for a specific book so that it falls kind of outside my regular weekly videos. Yes, I have kept pretty consistent this year. There were a few ups and downs, but this isn't my job. It's something that I do as a hobby. So when I come to taking time off doing it, I do feel annoyed because I do like creating videos and editing them and reading in order to create content. So I love doing that, but to take time off, I don't feel as guilty for doing it. Even though I am pre-filming right now because I know that I'm going in for jaw surgery, I'm putting pressure on myself, but I enjoy editing videos and I enjoy doing this. So I have made most of my content to be quite consistent over that Monday, Thursday, Saturday. I am wondering if I should change up those days, given that my time zone is very different to the US and the UK, which are a lot of my audience. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. Tell me what time you guys watch videos in your time zone and your country, because I would like to do some Googling based on when that time is in Australia. I don't know if I'm posting at a good time for everyone, so I'm eager to research that and find out, but I have been keeping pretty consistent to my videos, and I have put out a fair few reviews this year, and I've put out a fair few spoiler vlogs as well. So I'm actually quite happy with that goal. I'm just happy that I managed to create so much content as well as working full time. That is honestly an achievement, especially given how hard this year has been. I did quite well with that. I'm proud. That is a goal that I'm quite proud of myself for, and I've managed to carry it through. Maybe I'll carry it into next year as well. I do like being organized and having a schedule and stuff. So because I like those things, I think it will be pretty easy for me, or not pretty easy, but just pretty standard for me to organize my content for next year. And I've already started to plan early January, and it's only, November, and I started doing that in like October. So I think I've got stuff handled. It's just whether my healing process for my jaw after my surgery will cooperate. We'll see. Goal 6 is terrifying, and that is do a live stream. I don't know if that means by myself or with somebody else, but I want to do it and I'm scared. I did actually do a live stream. I did a live stream with my friend Steph at Novelty Corner. She is an absolute gem. Go and check out her channel. And she was so lovely and had me on her channel for a live stream. And I was so nervous, but we managed to do it. So I'm just happy that I got that done and dusted, and I've got a live stream under my belt. People who do it all the time and people who stream on Twitch, I just don't know what breed of human you are, because I just can't compute how to do that. Maybe when I get used to it. It was hard for me to start filming videos in general, but now I'm really comfortable filming them. So it's probably just a learning curve thing. So maybe I'll do more in the future, but that is honestly something that I did not think I would do at all. It's the goal that I thought I wouldn't complete, and funnily enough, I didn't complete my writing goal instead of this one. So I did something scary instead of writing, and that really tells you how much I'm procrastinating writing. And then my last goal is creative, and it can link into book stuff, but it's not entirely bookish. Neither is the writing goal, I guess, but my last goal, I think goal 7 we're up to now. I didn't put counting in my notes, so I'm just doing this and it's probably wrong. I hope it's right. But the 7th goal that I want to do is do more digital drawing. I can draw in person, like on pen and paper, but I struggle to draw on a Wacom tablet. And I did do this. I learned how to digital draw this year, majorly thanks to my partner, because he's the one who taught me how to use the Adobe program so that I could actually do it. And I was surprised. I picked up using the tablet quite quickly. It's just understanding how to navigate the programs, and I can do line art, I just can't do color yet. So that is my next step, but I have started the process. So I'm just proud that I actually did something and learned a new skill this year. Well, it's kind of adapting an old skill into a new one, because I went from traditional drawing to drawing digitally, but at least I did it. I did that goal, and I actually succeeded on a couple of places where I didn't think I would in terms of my reading goals for this year. So I'm quite happy with that. I am disappointed that I didn't get to 100 books, but it was such a lofty goal that I don't know why I set it. I think next year I'm going to set a goal of like 50 books and then see how I go, because 100 is way too much when you are working full time and you're editing videos and posting 3 times a week. It's just too much to do all at once for one person, especially when Animal Crossing release a massive new update, and that is what I want to do all of the time for the rest of my natural life. But anyway, that is it for my reacting to reading goals for 2021. If you've got any goals in mind that you want to tackle next year, I would be interested in knowing. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to put writing on my next reading goal video, but it is something that I do want to keep in the back of my mind. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll come chat to you down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.